Hello everybody, and welcome back to the series where I break down tips I've struggled with to get you to become a better player. In my last video, you guys left some ideas for what I should do this time around, and majority rules in favor of a positioning guide. Keep in mind, once again, I'm not going to go over every single strategy. This is going to be another general guide. I'll leave the creativity up to you guys. Alright, let's kick it off with the early game. I recommend your team start off at the middle lane Harpy camps. If your team can achieve both Harpy camp kills, go for the camp closest to your red buff. After the camp is cleared, all members of your team are going to go to their lanes, with the exception of your tank and your jungler. The tank hopefully picked up Hand of the Gods and is going to secure a kill on the red buff while your jungler picks up that buff. Just to make that clear, your bruiser is going to cover the short lane, your tank and carry are going to cover the long lane, and lastly, your mage or carry is going to cover the middle lane. Second, we're going to be talking about knowing the enemy across from you. Analyze who you're laning against and what abilities they have. Keep in mind the cooldown timers on those abilities. Punish your enemy who uses their defensive abilities at the wrong time. Just make sure that you know where their jungler is while doing this, because you don't want to counter gank. Buy actives and other items based on what you're laning against. And lastly, know where their jungler is. Here's a strategy that became pretty popular during the new meta, and keep in mind it's optional. It's when your team rotates based off what buffs are available. Since only one buff is available per player, junglers aren't grabbing all of the buffs anymore. So now when a jungler is going towards your lane, you have the option of helping them clear the camp. Often tanks pick up the blue buff for mana regeneration, middle lane helps out with the middle harpies, and the point of this is to split golden experience as well as the buffs, and typically this is used in more passive games. Let's talk about ganking. A typical jungle route starts at the middle harpies, then red buff, right blue, bottom right camp, speed, bottom left blue, bottom left, and then go home to build onto their boots. A gank is determined based on where the jungler is comfortable initiating. Before the gank can be performed, the player must pay attention to where missing players are from the opposing team and determine whether or not they can pull off the gank while still getting away with their own life. Before we stop talking about ganking, a great idea is to cover all exit strategies so the potential victim can't get away. What can solidify a team's victory is their team fight. Typically, they start off with an objective needing to be eliminated. Before the objective can be reached, players stand in the way. You and your team must focus a specific target, mainly a squishy god. Tanks should start with a CC, the carry and the mage can focus on damage, and with the synchronization of these abilities at the right time, you can win the battle and secure the objective. These objectives can be the buffs, towers, phoenix, fire giant, or gold fury. That's gonna wrap up this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please leave a comment on what you guys want to see next. I'm Theirsavior, and see you next time.